Oh my god, guys, we know everything. I just finished watching the summer finale of Pretty Little Liars, and I am so, in shock and just don't really know how to feel now that we know everything. When I was watching the episode, I actually wrote down a bunch of things that we found out in the episode, just kind of so that I remembered what to talk about. So Pretty Little Liars said hashtag Summer of Answers at the start of this season, and I think what they really meant was one episode of answers, which would make us all freak out hysterically and just not really know what to do with ourselves, because up until this point we have barely gotten any answers whatsoever. But this episode just seemed to spill everything, and so, there's a lot of things to talk about. First of all, the reveal of Charles. I didn't know what to expect. Literally, I have this sheet of possible people that were A. The ones in blue are boys and the ones in pink are girls. And I did have A's name written on the piece of paper. Didn't really know how to feel about the reveal. But the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, oh my god, yeah, I should have really thought about that more. So, to cut to the chase, Cece is A, and I don't really know how to feel about this, and I don't know. They said that we feel sorry for her, and honestly, I don't know if I do. I kind of do, but I don't really. I don't know. I'm feeling just really weird. I just didn't think that they were going to give us all those answers, and then they did, and it was like, oh my god. So, first of all, everyone that said that Charles was transgender actually turned out to be right. Maybe not all for the right reasons, because I did see a lot of theories that Charles might be transgendered, but it was more that Charles used to be a girl and then he got, then he became a boy, rather than he was a boy and then became a girl. But yes, Cece is transgender, and I did not expect that at all. That was something that I just didn't think was a thing. I was for sure that Charles was a boy. Apparently not. So Cece is transgender, and Mrs. De Laurentiis knew, and when they sent her away to Radley, Mrs. De Laurentiis visited her, and that's how Alison found two dresses that were the same, because one of them was for her and one of them was for Cece, because apparently when Mrs. D bought Alison something new, she also bought the same thing for Cece, almost as if they were twins, which kind of brings in a little nod to the book with the twin theory. And there's just so many things about this. Basically, Cece never meant to hurt Alison, so even whenever she was supposedly trying to drown Alison when she was a baby, she didn't actually mean it. She was just trying to make Alison feel better. She was very obsessive over Alison and her friends, and I don't even know how to talk about this in a sensible way. Okay, so basically, Cece's holding Alison captive, as well as Mr. De Laurentiis and Jason. Jason and Mr. De Laurentiis are sedated in a way that they can't move, but they're alive and they can hear everything that she's saying, and they're in Radley. And so Cece's just telling Alison the whole story of how this unfolds, and the girls are watching this from that place that we saw in the promo with Mona, and notice how Sarah's not there. Sarah decides that she's not going to get into the room, and that's when I noticed she was suspicious. And I was really upset that Sarah turned out to be Redcoat. I'm just going to put it out there. Because I said in my last video when I talked about Pretty Little Liars that I didn't want Sarah to be Redcoat, because I was like, that's not fair, that's so obvious, I don't want her to be Redcoat because it's obvious, but turns out she's Redcoat. And she's also Black Widow, which I didn't even consider, but she is. So that was that reveal, which again, I wasn't really that happy about it. I was like, I really don't want Sarah to be involved, but I had a reason not to like her because she was involved. Okay, moving on. I'm so disoriented right now. I literally just don't know how to feel. Cece, oh yeah, so Cece was the one that faked Mona's death so that she could take her way to the dollhouse, and what she did to Mr. De Laurentiis and Jason is what she did to Mona to get her to look dead, which seems really scary because they're literally just like dolls, like physically looking like dolls, and it's really weird. But it seems that she doesn't end up killing Mr. De Laurentiis or Jason. The girls managed to talk her out of that. Okay, so Bethany and Charles were in Radley together at the same time, and it turns out that Bethany is actually the one that kills Toby's mum. But obviously Bethany blames Charles instead, aka Cece, and so there's that whole thing. And I missed a part in the episode, but what I think it was that I missed because my stream froze is that Mrs. De Laurentiis faked Charles's death so that Charles could be taken out of Radley and get the sex change to become Cece, well, to become Charlotte, and then Mrs. De Laurentiis brought Cece back to Radley. And then there were so many things that happened in this episode. I'm trying to like talk about it reasonably. And then Cece studied really hard. She got access to leave Radley to go to school, and so she did that, but then one day her classes were cancelled and she was able to go out into the world and interact with Jason and her family. And it's just kind of weird to think that, like, I don't really know what to say, guys. I'm so, like, I don't, like, this is genuinely my reaction. I'm just kind of like, no words, kind of just trying to talk through it to kind of like make sense and piece everything together. So Cece does actually interact with her family. They go on summer holiday together, I believe, and that's a really great moment for Cece to be able to spend time with her family. And then Bethany finds out that Cece has been able to get privileges to leave Radley and go to school and things. So what Bethany does is she steals the yellow top outfit from Cece and goes out to visit the De Laurentiises because she's going to tell on Mrs. De Laurentiis and what she's doing. Also, turns out that Mrs. De Laurentiis is the one that has been paying off Wilden for all of the things that have been happening. Wilden is officially the worst cop in Rosewood ever. Anyway, so Cece follows Bethany out to the De Laurentiis house, and Bethany, no, not Bethany, Cece is the one that hits Allison over the head with a rock because Cece thinks that it was actually Bethany that she hit, but it was Allison, so that's why Mrs. De Laurentiis was burying Allison. She was covering for Cece, which makes sense because obviously Mrs. De Laurentiis wouldn't have buried her child if not to protect her other child. So there's that. And it turns out that the person that actually killed Bethany was Mona. And I'm sitting over here like, what? Did anyone even see that happening? Because I didn't. So apparently Bethany was killed by Mona, and Mona thought that it was Allison, and there's this whole big thing, and it's like, what? So I'm not really sure how Mona just randomly appeared to be there, although at this point it seems like everyone was there that night that Allison disappeared. It's just like everyone who's anyone on the cast of the show just happened to be there or doing something that night. It was so important and so mystical. Like, there have been so many things that have happened at that night that I need to go back and rewatch the show and write down everything that happened the night she disappeared, because I'm pretty sure at this point it doesn't make any sense. That must have been like the longest night in Rosewood history because so much stuff happened in it, and I'm pretty sure that not all of it makes sense because I don't understand how that all makes sense, but apparently it does. Okay. Also, I don't think it was clear who killed Mrs. De Laurentiis because it wasn't Cece, because Cece found Mrs. De Laurentiis. So unless they revealed that in the episode and I missed it, I don't know who killed Mrs. De Laurentiis. So that's annoying. But it definitely wasn't Cece. What else do I have here? Just that Mona thought that Cece was Allison. When Mona first gets checked into Radley, she's on a lot of medication, so she thinks that Cece is Allison, and so that's how Cece steals the game from Mona. Cece agrees to play the game alongside Mona so that Cece can escape from Radley once and for all. And then I guess Cece just takes over the game completely, and she says that it's really addicting and that once you start the game you can't stop it, because she was originally going to stop the game whenever Shauna died in New York, but that obviously didn't happen. She came back because we've seen her, and I don't really remember what happened with that. She just said the game was really addicting and she couldn't give it up, so she came back. And she only got really aggressive with everyone, like the girls and Allison, when Allison didn't listen to her, because apparently Cece's like very overprotective of Allison, and she wanted Allison to, like, I guess it's just that she wanted Allison to listen to her and like stay in Rosewood, because the night that Cece attacked Allison in her house was because she wanted Allison to stay in Rosewood, and she, like, I don't really understand what the deal is with the game. I guess Cece just liked having all the girls as her dolls to play with, and she was kind of just like, yes, I almost killed these girls, but I didn't kill them, I didn't seriously harm them, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I seriously just don't understand exactly how they made it that everything was okay. That's just what I don't understand, how they, like, make it okay that Cece did all this stuff. I think that's kind of what I'm really just questioning. I'm like, she just admitted to, like, almost killing you guys a lot of times and, like, torturing you, but you're okay with that? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of everything, and I'm struggling. I just wasn't expecting us to get all the answers that we did. And there was one more thing. Yeah, okay, so the whole thing that happened with the lake house fire is that Cece wanted to see if Allison was still alive, and so to do that she sent a red coat decoy, which was Sarah. The girls followed it, and then Cece set the lake house on fire because she knew that Allison would come back and rescue the girls. And so when the girls got rescued, obviously by Allison, Cece was there, and she realized that that's when Allison was alive. And yeah, I'm still struggling to figure out how this all makes everything okay. And then I think they were going to blow up Bradley, but that didn't really work. Yeah, it's like Cece's plan was to blow up Bradley, and that didn't go so well because Spencer was able to disable the bomb because the girls escaped from the room where they were watching Cece, and well, no, Mona doesn't. Mona stays in that room, but the rest of the girls go to Radley and try to save Allison so that they don't get caught up in the explosion of Radley. But Spencer disables the bomb, they all go up to the roof. Cece's about to jump, but the girls beg her not to. They understand why she did what she did, and they're seemingly okay with it, and then Cece decides not to jump, and it's game over. And it's all like, okay, and I was like very calm about this. I was just really calm, like listening to the whole story. I stopped freaking out after like the second round of adverts, because American adverts are every like 2 minutes and they really annoy me. But yeah, I stopped freaking out after that, and I was just kind of calm and listened to the story unfold. And then it skips ahead to 5 years later, and Allison is writing her name on a chalkboard. I think she's a teacher. And then the 4 girls rush in, and they're like, "He's coming for you, Allison." And it's kind of weird. And Allison has a different last name, and I can't tell if that's because she got married in the 5 years, or if it's because she just wanted to start her life over. But apparently someone's coming for Allison. So is this guy that's coming after Allison like the next A? Because I read somewhere once that Cece was like big A, but then there's like an uber A. I'm so confused at this point. Like, the game might be over, but there's still so many questions that I have. So like apparently someone's coming for Allison 5 years later, and the story is definitely not over, because they said after winter break, or whenever the show starts again in the winter, that it's going to be a time jump 5 years ahead. Everything has changed. Spencer has bangs. It's all very new. And the game it seems to be going on again, but not with Cece because they agreed that that was over. But I don't know. And apparently something happened to Sarah and Radley that I didn't see. No idea. And obviously Emily was really upset that Sarah was like part of it, but we all knew that Sarah couldn't have been trusted. And yeah, I think I have said everything that I need to say. I'm still in a daze, guys. I got so hyped up for this, and then I sat and I just listened to everything, and I just don't know. Guys, I don't know how to feel. I'm like half satisfied, half not. I have no words. So I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And let me know in the comments below how you felt about this episode of Pretty Little Liars. I know that we've all been waiting a long, long time for this, so definitely let me know what you think. As you guys can see, I'm still in shock. But I'll watch the episode again tomorrow, and I will try and make more sense of it in a blog post. So if you guys want to check that out, there will be a link in the description below. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.